me find y'all so I can read comments for Reelios. Does anybody say Reelios anymore? Because I feel like no one ever really did say Reelios. All right, we're gonna keep this very lighthearted and fun today. So the way I deal with any hard situation is with humor most of the time, as many people do. And my story across the whole last 6 years includes a lot of actual trauma. So I don't want to pair any of the stuff that's happened with my business as traumatic, because none of it has been traumatic. It's just like a fly on my shoulder. I don't know, a fly at a picnic. Welcome. Hey guys. Hey Justin, hey April, hey Blessed Mama, hey Erica, hey Tammy, hey Laura, hey Steph. Thanks for being here for me. So just kind of also in the backstory, just knowing, and I'll touch on some of the trauma. And again, if you've been here with my whole story, you'll remember moments in my story when I talked about my mom losing her husband, losing my uncle, losing a little cousin we lost someone to ALS. We lost someone to trisomy 18. We lost someone to a brain aneurysm. We lost someone to a lot. Okay, so we lost someone to tragic car accident, and I just, my whole story is kind of riddled with these timelines where it'll trigger a memory of me going, oh yeah, remember you were dealing with that on top of Cricut or 143 or somebody coming in and infiltrating. Thanks, Teresa. So just remember, none of this stuff actually bothers me that much. It's just kind of I laugh a lot of it off. But when I think about the minus two things, and I've never opened up about these two things, I'll talk about them. They'll have their own segments. One will be when I got chronically sick, and another will be when people started being used as pawns to hurt me. And so I hate using the word hurt because I'm like, oh, don't be so sensitive in this, but it is. It's hurtful, let's just say. So it's getting to the point where it's now becoming hurtful, and I've processed through a lot of my actual trauma to the point where I can feel these things now. Before I couldn't really feel these things. I was feeling so much of my pain and trauma in my real life that business stuff was like, get out of here, super annoying. Yeah, you copied me, yeah, whatever. But now it's like, life is going pretty good, knock on wood, thank the Lord. We haven't experienced any traumatic things in the last year and a half, minus my other niece getting in an extreme car accident and almost dying, but didn't. Life could have been real different if that happened. But so just more backstory of just kind of where these emotions are coming from, and why when someone says I'm bitter, it's frustrating, because it's yeah, I'm bitter, but in reality it's I'm also really upset that I had to struggle with something so dumb and mediocre in the middle of life. And brands and products have no control over that, and they don't care, and some of them do. And I've worked with enough now to go, there are brands that love you for who you are and are invested in you as a human being and give you the space you need when you need to breathe. And then there are brands who are like, but can you get my deal done? Can you get this in time? I know you're dealing with a lot, but I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna steal your product, or I'm gonna do something. So thanks, Tammy. Yeah, so anyways, let's talk about the beginning stages of my career, because it's my favorite part of my story, and I want to start on a good note. So I'm going to start chalk painting. Any questions about the craft, I'll try to answer as well, but I'm using the Krylon chalkboard paint on a vintage glass frame. I masked it with whatever tape I had lying around. Apparently Duct Tape brand has masking tape, and I have some. I didn't know that. So just probably needs a few coats. I don't know, but this stuff is thick. It's really thick. I shook it yesterday, so not sure if I have to shake it again. Okay, so a girl could dream, right? I started my influencer career after watching and observing other moms, other friends doing an influencing career. I went to high school with Andrea's Choice and loved what she was doing on the internet and just went, I love what she's doing. It's so cool. And I just watched her story and I saw that she grew. If you guys know, she kind of left the influencer world for whatever, because the influencer world comes with a lot of drama. And if you're a nice person, it can be daunting. So loved watching her, loved watching cute girls' hairstyles, because that was a mom living her life doing a YouTube channel. So I kind of sat back and observed, dabbled a little bit with YouTube, but when I thought about what do you always do, what could you mesh into your influencer life, and what could you do that you're already doing that won't take away time? And I just instantly went, well, you craft all the time with the girls and you're always making things to save money. So my whole goal was to take the knowledge I watched them do directly on the glass. Yeah, I told in the beginning why I didn't take this out. It was a hassle to try to get it out. If it doesn't work out, I don't know what I'll do with it, but it'll be pretty for the background. This is chalkboard paint, not chalk paint. Just there's two difference. This actually makes a chalkboard you can write on. Chalk paint is just like a chalky finish. So, right. It'll be cool. I hope so. We're gonna do some fun little things today that are gonna be so fun to see if they turn out. So I jumped into the influencer world and I was like, okay, I know what I wanna do. I wanna be a craft influencer. And I didn't know, I actually didn't follow any craft influencers. I didn't know if there was like already people out there. I knew there wasn't as many people out there doing it. And so I jumped in and I had such an amazing first 3 years of launching my YouTube career. I traveled to Utah to go to CVX Live. I brushed elbows with some amazing other YouTubers. I took influencing classes and followed influencer like coaches and just really dove into like how to be an influencer. And I was so caught in the YouTube part of it. I loved the YouTube part of it, but I was doing what I loved by crafting. And so I was like, this is just so awesome. I'm enamored with like the industry I'm in. I'm getting to meet such amazing people. The people who were influencing that I got to meet were just like the nicest people ever. And I'm getting to do what I love. I'm crafting and I loved that. And so I launched that, and then I fell in love with Disney when we went to Disneyland, and we were very poor. So I ended up making Mickey ears and was like, I'm just gonna film this. And that was when my love for DIY Disney stuff jumped into play. And I knew that that had to be a part of my niche forever because it was just so fun. And what better excuse to go show your stuff off than to go to Disneyland? So, and at the time, my cousins were living down there in the military, so we got a pretty decent price to get in. We'd only go like once every 2 years, though. Yay, we got Sam here and Carrie here, Julie. Who else is here? Say hi, so I see that you're here. Hey, Jess. And you guys all got tips for each other. I love that. So any questions about this, do it in all caps if you need me to answer it. And it's a craft question. But so I started out loving life, living the dream, not making any money. You don't make any money when you first start out on YouTube. Dustin was still in seminary. We were debt free, so I could like easily jump into this new hobby. And I told him like, hey, it's gonna take like 2 years before you see anything happen, okay? Like it's gonna look a little crazy that I'm starting this YouTube journey, but watch, it's gonna be okay. And so that was tried and true, and that was awesome. And so I started to kind of make a name for myself in the crafting industry and just kind of putting out like the side of me that's really good at crafting, which has since then died off a little bit because I don't get much time to craft as much. That's why I'm so excited about this series. So we, hey guys, hey silly mommy, hey Shelly. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of listening today, but we're gonna go into it. And I thought, what better way than share all of it, but not all of it, but all of it. So I'm loving life, not making any money, doing my thing, knowing my dream will live out someday. Literally just making videos in my living room, in my garage, and all things, and working with what I had, creating things out of what I had. And then I came across a website that introduced you to brands that you could partner with. And I just was like, oh, this is cool. This is what I want to do. I want to partner with brands, because every influencer wants to partner with brands, because that's we're taught. Affiliate marketing and brand deals are the #1 way to make money if you want to continue doing this for the rest of your life. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's join this website and reach out to some brands. You get, contacts and all that stuff. So there are things like, just random stuff, medicine balls, workout gear, things that really wouldn't work well with my target audience. But I was like, I just want any brand deal I can get. And then Cricut was on there. And they put out a campaign and how much they wanted to pay for it. And I was like, oh, that is my target audience. And I don't have the money to buy a Cricut. I want to work with Cricut. I need to work with this brand, which is what every influencer, when you're on Cricut's radar, gets that exciting feeling. And it's like, yes, a big brand wants to work with me. And I had like 5,000 followers at the time. So still micro influencer, knew I had to bring out the big guns if I wanted to be on their radar. So I reach out, I write a really detailed description, tell them what I want to do, tell them all the ideas I have, and didn't hear back. So I was like, okay, a few more years maybe I'll be on their radar, it'll be all good. Then Millennial Moms opens up and the casting for that happens, and Mindy from Cute Girls Hairstyles puts out that she is looking for moms that specialize in different things to be on a new channel. And I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I've only got like 5,000 followers. She's probably gonna get so many responses and everybody is going to apply for it. And there's so many YouTubers that could apply for it that have so many more followers than me. And so I apply, and I did it anyways. So I applied because I had nothing to lose, but I kind of prepared myself for like, you're not gonna get it. It's fine. You didn't get Cricut, you're not gonna get Millennial Moms. And lo and behold, Mindy responded with, oh my gosh, I love your content. I love what you're doing. I want to see you more, because at the time I wasn't really in my videos. I was just, my hands were my videos. She's like, we want to see your face. This is what I want to do. Like, you're giving me a platform with people to watch me and showcase my crafting abilities. Yes, I want to do this. And I was so excited. So I contracted with them to do 1 video a week. Okay, 1 video on Millennial Moms a week. And I was just on cloud 9. I was like, I can spend money on these videos because I'm getting paid for the videos, so I'll just reinvest what they're paying me back into the video. I actually have a budget. I can spend it on my videos. And it was not a lot, but it was just so exciting. Once I was on Millennial Moms, Cricut saw that I was on a channel that had about 300,000 followers and finally decided to reach back out to me and said, hey, we like you. Sorry, it took us so long to message you. So already starting off on like, we needed you to prove yourself before. And I was like, well, my crafts are really good. And Mindy said they're really good. And that's how I got on Millennial Moms. So, cause I'm very proud of some of the crafts I come up with, because I just come from a very crafty, creative family and cheap. Like, we're always working on a budget. So I'm like, I'm gonna take a lot of pride in the crafts that I make. And I am really cool. I don't have a lot of followers, but I can craft. Like, if there's one thing I know I can do, it's craft. So, anyway, so I get on Millennial Moms, and then all of a sudden Cricut wants me. And then I'm like, this is it. I'm making 4 videos a week. I'm making 1 Walt Disney Wednesday a week for my channel. So that's 8 videos a week, a month. I can do math, I swear. Sometimes, you know, depending on if there's more than 4 weeks in a month. And then Cricut is like, we want videos on millennial moms. And I was like, well, that's not really like what they want over there. They kind of want like me to just craft over there and do like more mom friendly crafts and stuff like that, because it's more for like the mom world versus like the crafter world. And they're like, okay, well, when you want to put something on there, let us know. So I was like, okay, well, if I want to work with this brand, I gotta go and put them into millennial moms. And so I decided, I was like, well, let me tell them I can try to sneak a Cricut product in once a month on there and 2 on my channel. And they were fine with that. And then they were like, but we want a weekly video. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So now I have 1 Cricut video a week on my channel, 1 video, Walt Disney video on my week, and then 1 video for millennial moms, which my heart was in millennial moms at the time. That's where I really was like, that's what I want to do. So my videos started to kind of take back burner. And then Cricut videos took precedence because I was getting paid even more for Cricut videos. And I was also getting really cool projects done because I was then now using a Cricut. And so I was just very excited all around. I was like, I'm working with the coolest influencers on the internet. I'm working with the coolest brand in the crafting industry, and I'm getting to live my dream, and I'm making decent money. Like it wasn't a ton of money, but it was good for us being debt free and like Dustin back in school and us living on like the sale of his business. I was like, we're doing good. I'm making a few extra $100 for our budget, and we're good. And so everything was great in the beginning. Everything was awesome. I wowed their socks off. My first craft was a heat and bond fabric project with the Explorer. I didn't want to just do vinyl and HTV. I was like, I'm not only going to do this with what they already say they do, but I'm going to take it above and beyond. And they were like floored. They were like, not only did you learn how to use our machine super fast, but you came back with a craft that featured some of the techniques that nobody teaches, and you used a complementing business with us. And I was already going out to Utah for CVX Live, and they were like, come to our headquarters, we want to meet you, we want to introduce you to the team and all the things, and we want to take you out to dinner. And so when I was out there, they like wooed me, and I was frazzled because I was like, yeah, I'm on this really quick trip, so let me go to dinner and all the things. But it was great. I was on cloud 9. I was like, I'm getting to see the influencers I work with. I'm getting to see the brands I'm working with. I am getting to do what I love. It's still amazing, and it continues to be amazing. So I basically forget Disney for a while, and I'm like, forget Disney stuff. I now have a Cricut. I'm a Cricut girl. I can do all things with the Cricut. And I kind of shifted my whole mindset to Cricut. And then stuff in my family started coming up. We had a death, and then we had somebody be diagnosed with ALS, which was a 2-year walk with that person until they finally passed away. And hard stuff started hitting. So this is where I started to just kind of go, wow, this can be hard. Like, how do I balance when I'm so excited over here, but life is literally falling apart? And I'm trying to get 12 videos done a month. 4 for Cricut, 4 for millennial moms, 4 for myself. So started to kind of dwindle for myself and mesh those 2 things together. I kind of worked that video into Cricut. So I compromised like the amount of stuff that was going out. And that was, but I was on my career high at the moment. I was like, I'm gonna do this. Thanks, Havana. Thanks, Terry. The wall behind me is a peel and stick wallpaper mural, and it's in my Amazon store. Thank you. Stephanie answered that. So I'm on my high, okay? I'm on a high, and life is starting to fall apart. It's not falling apart horribly, but it's starting. And little did I know the amount of things that were about to happen in the next 6 years. And people talk about like the COVID year being the hardest year. I'm like, please, that was my easiest year by far in the last 6 years. It was amazing to not have to do anything and no tragedies. So I'm on cloud nine. I'm excited. I'm working with everybody. I'm establishing my name in the crafting community. I'm getting out there. I'm on Millennial Moms. All these things are happening, and I start compromising my quality of video. Videos start going really dumb. Like, I just go for like, I have no ideas. I'm tired. I don't have any new ideas to do anything. I'm gonna resort to make a vinyl craft or make this. And at the time, the Cricut videos that were taking off the most were like, tell me about the machine, tell me about this, how to upload a video, how to do these things. So taking away from my time doing what I love, which is crafting, and turning me kind of into a product sales person. So I start doing that, and videos start taking off, and I get a message, which communication with Cricut was very hard. They very rarely commented back or messaged me back. So I was very weird. Like, I didn't know how I was doing. I knew like what my affiliate sales were, and I knew they were doing really well. And so I messaged one day and I was like, hey, we've sold $25,000 this month. Is that good? Is that bad? And I instantly got a message like, what? You sold how much? And I was like, $25,000? Like, I don't know. Is that good? Is that bad? And they're like, yeah, how much do you want to be paid to continue with us? And I was like, well, life is getting really hard. You know, maybe I can do one a month. They didn't really care. They were like, it's fine. Just tell us what you want. And I was like, okay, well, I've grown. I'm probably about like 10,000 subscribers now. So I'm guessing like what you were paying me, maybe like double that. And I had a commission code, so I was still making money off of it, and it was good. And the money started coming in, and I was like, wow, you can actually make a lot of money doing affiliate marketing. But I was really compromising like my creativity and why I jumped in to doing what I love so I could stay home with my kids and continue doing things that I was already doing with them. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to keep you guys, so yeah, I'll do one video a week. And what that caused me to have to do was pull back to 2 videos a month on Millennial Moms. And I was like, hey, I'm just really busy right now. Life is throwing curveballs at me. I have to pull back to 1 video a month or 2 videos a month. And so I did that. And they were like, that is fine. That's great. Just come, you know, let us know when you're ready to do more than one. And my videos were really lame on Millennial Moms after all this started happening too. I was just like, let me just throw something together. And it's like, can I just do like a vlog while we're in wherever? And so it just was, everything was compromising because I was just doing so much. And this is one of the reasons why I tried to coach influencers now and go, hold up, don't do too much right away. And FYI, it's very hot in here still. I wanted to get a cooler or whatever, air conditioner, but I didn't. So I am, you know, still dreaming, still living the dream. And then life isn't too crazy, but there's things happening. And then all of a sudden, we decide that it's time to buy a house. And I'm like, that's exciting. That's going to be fun content. Let's do that. And we bought a house, and things were going great. And we started to renovate again. This was the beginning of renovations again. And renovations are so fun. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just word to the wise, don't. Just, I mean, it actually is very wise financially, especially living in California, because it's one of the only ways to buy a house is to buy a fixer-upper and fix it up. And then you can flip it because we're in the California market. So we did that basically. But while we were flipping this house, we were living in it, and I was also growing fast. I started to do live videos, and then I started to just kind of get really busy. Like everything, I was live all the time, and we were selling a ton of Cricut stuff, and I was like, whoa. So I looked at my analytics and I was like, wait, we're selling $250,000 worth of Cricut products a month. And so Cricut started like not responding again, because they were like, we got you set up on once a week, we're good, just do your thing, we'll pay you, it's all good. Never really communicated that much with me. And so I would send these texts out, and I'd be like, to their influencer manager, and I'd be like, hey, FYI, I knew we were doing really good when we were making this much. Now we're making this much. What does that mean? Like, and she was like, holy moly, dude, you are in our top 5 sales platforms, which includes our retail stores and our QVC. And you're in that top, I think at that time I was in the top 25, but I made it to the top 5 by the time it was time to go. So 3 years goes fast. I don't know what we're talking about. So I'm working with them, and I'm like, wow, I'm selling a lot. Like, I'm selling a lot, and life is pretty good. Then we have some stuff happen at home where I need to open up our 3rd bedroom to take in a couple people in my family who were having hard times. And that was my craft room. So I was like, well, the dream of working from home is dying again, so let's get an office. So I got an office, and I was still working with Cricut, and that's when it really took off. Once I got the office, I started to just grow like crazy. And I don't know if it was the office, I don't know if it was just me going live all the time, I don't know what it was about that season, but just grew like crazy. I was doing, massive amounts of Cricut videos, so I'm sure that had to do with it. And at the time, there were only like 4 of us doing Cricut videos consistently, so I was one of the main squeezes. And they invite me out to the Cricut Mountain Make-a-thon. And they're like, we want you to come out, we'll pay for your trip, we'll get you all the goods, we want everything. And life is still great at the moment. Like, relationship with Cricut is amazing. But they don't talk to me. They didn't talk to me very much at all. So I was like, I didn't know who the CEO was. I didn't know who any of the staff was besides the influencer manager. So I get flown out there, and then I get thrown into kind of like a shark pool of influencers who had been cut and paid to go. And basically, I'm like keeping it quiet that they paid for me to come out, because all the influencers are like, oh my gosh, this is so, what do you think they're coming out with? Because they were coming out with the maker, but we didn't know that until the end. And so they're all like talking and going on their social medias and being like, this is what could possibly be happening. And I was like, what is this? What am I at? Like, I was just here to like come and do fun things with the Cricut. And it was like, oh my gosh, that's an influencer that had to pay to come here because they don't work with them anymore. And did they pay for you to come? And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, I didn't want to like make anybody feel bad that I was paid to go, and I had no idea like they had burned bridges with people before, but this was an open event so people could go, and my world was just kind of like poof. There's a lot going on here that you're just not aware of. And some influencers took me under their wing and were like, listen, babe, not everything is as it seems over here. It's not a pretty picture all the time. However, we love the Cricut. We love the machine. So we're loyal to the Cricut machine. And a lot of them had great relationships still, but things were simmering. And I was like, I'm new here. I'm excited. I was so excited. And you know what the funny thing, I was just telling Steph about this. This is all documented on the internet. So if you want to go back and watch Cricut Mountain Make-a-thon, you can see how dumb I was. And I was like, oh my gosh, this Tanner Bell, he's so cute. And like all these things. And I'm like, he started his blog when he was 10. And just meeting everybody. I was so excited. I was so happy. I thought it was going to be more like a CBX live experience where I brush elbows with amazing people in the industry. And it was completely opposite. It was like, whoa, everybody here is out to get each other. And only a few of them are looking out. And I was like, I don't want this. Like, I don't want this at all. I want to go back to millennial moms. Like, I want to go back to the YouTube community where we collaborate, and when we collaborate, things grow. And what is this? And I was just like, I don't even know. So we get the maker, we go home with the maker. It was grand time. I'm confused as heck because I'm like, I thought I was in the crafting community. I thought everything was great. And nobody talked to, like, barely anybody talked to me. I was known by everyone as like the new influencer that is getting to work with Cricut, but we are all kind of like on the back burner. They don't care about us, but they're excited about this new girl who's like putting time and effort and growing and making all these sales and all the things. And I did not like that. I was like, I don't want to be a pawn in this game. I didn't even know I was a pawn in this game. I was just excited, and I'm crafting. And life is crazy right now. I was, you know, taking care of a lot of stuff at home, and things were falling apart, and not like marriage or kids, like just people were sick and dying, and my mom's husband was diagnosed again with his stage 4 cancer. So like we could kind of see that things were going array. My uncle had a baby with trisomy 18, so we kind of knew she would pass away soon, but we didn't know when that was going to happen. So we were kind of like, okay, we're dealing with ALS, we're dealing with trisomy 18, we're dealing with stage 4 lung cancer. And then there was like a tragic loss in the midst of all that as well. On top of another tragic loss that happens later when I'm like, Cricut stuff doesn't even matter at all. So yeah, it was a lot, Katie. It was a lot. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, live videos are so amazing because I don't have to film anything. I don't have to edit anything. I don't have to do anything. I can talk to you guys. I started to get to know you guys. You guys started to ask me more questions. And it was such a good like therapy for me to be able to walk through and have something like coming here to look forward to talking to you guys. So the mystery box saga. I'm gonna leave it at that, and we're gonna do another video called the mystery box saga because that's where this kind of stems into and when it really went cray, and we'll talk about that. So I'm gonna do just Q&A for the rest of this video. So if you're rewatching the replay and you're like, I don't got time for this, the rest of this is just me hanging out with you guys while I chalk paint this, and then I'm gonna do another craft and we'll talk about the mystery box saga of, I don't even know the date. I think it was like 2018. It was definitely a storm. It was, and I don't remember a lot of it. So I've slowly been processing it, and a lot of it was so hard that it's a blur. And when I look back at it, I'm like, I can't believe I let Cricut take up so much real estate in my brain. And I'm no longer letting that happen. So I'm just gonna let it all out and we can move on from there. I love that you're sharing your story. I love watching your videos too. Sometimes I find myself watching your old videos and I just think she's so creative, you inspire me. Thanks, Carrie. I watch that too and I look back and I'm like, wow, you were a fighter. Like if all of this stuff were to happen now, I probably wouldn't have the energy to deal with it and keep it afloat where it's at. I was like, I don't know how I got through it. The Lord is what got me through it. There was a season when I talk about this often. I was on like a peak and I had so much planned for the Christmas season, and all the deaths happened right before that, and I just got this call from the Lord to be present with my family, and I put up one video and it went like, it was the most viewed video I've ever had, and it caused me to just pause and reflect and go, God has got this. God's got you. You got to stop working so hard. And I think I'm in that season right now too. Probably going to be talking to myself a bit. Your stories and life struggles and achievements are so inspiring. Thanks, Tammy. What was your initial investment approximately before you started seeing a return? That's a great question, Joni, because I literally started with what I had. I had my DSLR camera because I was a photographer. That was my business. I did photography. So when I found out that YouTubers were using DSLRs and saving up a ton of money to buy a DSLR, I was like, I already have that. But you can start now with an iPhone. Like back then, phones were not up to par to doing YouTube. But now you can start with your phone. And I literally used with things that I was already doing or planning to do. I didn't invest anything. YouTube is free, and I am forever grateful for the platform of YouTube and the people who went before me and showed me like, this is a safe place to establish a career. And the biggest thing I hear when like kids want to be YouTubers, which every kid wants to be a YouTuber, but when their parents are like, don't do that, that's not a real thing. I'm like, step aside and get out of the way of their dreams right now, Missy, right now, or Mr. Dad or Mr. Mom or whoever. And it's not for everyone, obviously. It's one of my daughters wants to be a YouTuber, and one of them is like, I will work for the man, thank you. I don't want any of this. This is too much. And I'm like, yeah, seriously, right? Go get a degree and go get a job. Like, it's not for everyone, but it is for a lot of people. And a lot of people, I don't know how this is turning out. I think I might need to let this like fully dry and come back and do a second coat. It looks sketchy and like, but if it's not like fully dry, it's like starting to peel up off the glass. Do you do one on one business? Yes, we're going through, actually business membership is open now, so you guys can join. We had a lot of technical issues that we were like, let's just open it back up. It'll stop all of these tech issues. Yes, and we are going through finances this quarter. So we're going to talk about finances and all the things. Thumbs up, please. Love the inspiration. Yay, my kids want to be YouTubers. I told them mommy needs to try it first before I let them. Thank you, Little Craft Nest. That is another thing. If your kid wants to be a YouTuber, you need to know the rules of YouTube and do not live vicariously through them and do not use them to establish your brand. I use my kids a lot, but they have never been the face of what I do. Nothing, and I've never once, debatable. They will be like, I definitely didn't want to do that photo shoot, but I'd be like, get out here, I need a picture of this, you're my model. So I'm guilty of that, but I have never forced them into being in a video. That's why a lot of the times I'm like, get out of here. And they're like, I want to be in the video. And I'm like, no. So, yeah, but 14, they have to be 14 to have their own YouTube channel. But again, be safe. I could go into it all day, but it's a whole world. And we're talking a lot in the business group about stemming half of them into influencers, because a lot of them want to be influencers, and that type of stuff is needed. So I will probably be coaching and talking about that a lot. I wish my kids would sit still for a photo shoot. Taylor, let me photograph your kids sometimes. I was a specialty for the kids. I have the most fun photographing kids because I just love it. Like, it's so fun for me. Business membership is back open. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And business members get 30% off all of my products. So that's fun. You guys have a new code now. So make sure you're shopping with the business member code if you're a business member. I'll bring them by today. Probably a little different today. I probably wouldn't be in the mood to take pictures of kids today, but it does help me. Like when I would spend a day doing a photo shoot or a mini shoot with kids, I'd come home like so tired, but I'd be like, I am so happy. Like hanging out with kids is the most happy you can be in the whole world. Kids are the most happy people on earth. And if they're not, it's like easily fixable. You're like, should we just go like jump in the pool? And they're like, yeah. Looks like I'm shopping. Woo! Okay. All right, we will be back for Saga Part 2, and I'm going to be blinging one of my favoriteest Mickey ear makers. Ears, you're not going to want to miss them because they're so cool. And I'm going to talk about her. I feel like I'm on a TV show. I'm like, we'll be back after this messages. I got to go wash this out too. So about a 5-minute break. I'm going to wash this out, set this aside, prep the next thing, get it ready to go, and we're going to go. My daughter is dying to start a YouTube channel, but my husband won't allow it because he thinks it's like the devil or something. Pixie dust cups, Jess. Yeah, it can be. It's definitely a dog eat dog world. No, it takes a law of moral compass, and you can go any way, and there's nobody telling you what to do. So I've seen people rise real fast and fall, and I've seen people take their time and make wise choices, and I'm so glad sometimes that I'm not growing extremely fast anymore, because when I was like making irrational choices all at once, and I was like, yeah, but you get muddled by the growth. And so slow growth is actually really, really helpful. I definitely watched you for your Disney and your God story. I'm a silhouette girl through and through, but your creative inspiration kept me coming back, and I would figure out how to adapt it. That's awesome. I actually need to find the silhouette cord because one of my crafts today is going to be testing out our HTV with the silhouette, because remember how bad I struggled yesterday? Most of that was because of design space mistakes. I forgot to resize and mirror. So when I was like, if the silhouette would just work and I could get it to work, the design program and the silhouette together are just seamless and so amazing. So let's get the machine to work. We're gonna play with it by the end of the day today, okay? All right, I'll be back to talk about the mystery box, I don't know, I'll think of a name for it in the next 5 minutes. Okay, you're welcome for sharing the story, hoping it's not too much by the end of the day, but I will see you guys in 5 minutes with the next part of the story. Bye, guys.